Hello and welcome back to this next lesson. Another very, very important one. We are going to talk to you today about the anatomy of your trading business because, like I mentioned previously, this is not a side hustle. So many people come into this industry and don't take these small steps and put them where they need to. This, for you, has got to be taken very, very seriously. This is your trading business. So essentially, what you need to do is create a business plan. That is what I want you to start getting into the frame of mind of thinking. So, firstly, with any business plan, we have got a vision, and you need to understand firstly what you want to achieve, where you want to go with it. For me personally, my vision was to become a millionaire. But beyond that, it was to scale, to become an entrepreneur in the ability to invest in other people, invest in other businesses, and just scale along that way. Trading has allowed me to do that. Trading can allow you to do the very same thing. It can allow you to do whatever your personal vision is, but you have to have in mind, what is your vision? What do you want to achieve with trading? Maybe it is just trading. Maybe you want time and freedom back by trading in the morning or trading in the afternoon, and you can spend the rest of the time becoming a full-time athlete. It's completely up to you. I feel like trading is a very amazing skill set because it gives you the ability to do both. You can scale with other business, you can become an entrepreneur with other things, or you can just give yourself time and retire essentially the rest of your days as a working person. So no one mentions this, but what's your short-term goal? Now, I know your short-term goal is to get funded because at the end of this 12-week program, you're going to get a funded account. So the short-term goal, let's just say it now, is funded. We want to have the ability to take the funded challenge. That's 3 months away. So if we're going to do that in 3 months, we've got work to do. Don't get me wrong, but we want to get you to the stage where you're funded. But after you've got a short-term goal, maybe you've got other short-term goals as well. Maybe you want to allow a little bit more time to trade in a certain session. Maybe you want to just have a clearer understanding of everything after the 12-week period. But then we need a long-term goal. What is your 1 year goal? What is your 5 year goal? If you don't have those things in place, let me tell you, you're not organized enough. You need to get all of your ducks in a row. You need a plan for long term as well as short term. Short term plan, funded. Long term plan, as in 1 year, I want 5 funded accounts, each multiple six-figure accounts, £500,000 in funding. 5 year term, I want to be managing 20 different account sizes, scaling up to £2 million. 10 year goal, I want to have investment portfolios scattered around. Maybe that's your 5 year goal. Whatever it is, take the time in writing them out, because if they're in your head, they will remain in your head. You need to go away and write your vision on a vision board of sorts, and you need to create this goal, because at the moment it's a dream. And the only way to turn your dream into a reality is to change the word from dream to goal. But write it down and actually act and map out how the goal is going to happen, and then make it happen. That is how you do it. What is your plan from day one? My plan from day one is to start. My plan from day one would be to write my vision board out and to write my short-term goal, my long-term goal, and to understand what I want to achieve from trading, and then just to start watching lessons and to start taking notes, to start working on my business, to start planning my business, to start doing all that stuff. That is my plan day one. Day one, I mean, day one for me was yesterday. Day one for you was yesterday. It's probably last week. That's how eager I am to get in this industry going. That's how eager I am in my trading business. But what's your plan right now? If I said to you right now, gun to your head, what is the goal now from day one? What do you want to do? You can pause this, think about it, come back. But I want you to even just, there's a comment section under this video. I want you to write. I don't need to know short-term, long-term goals because they're personal to you, but what's your plan right now, day one? It can be anything. It can be anything. It can be complete one module a week. It can be open up my broker's account. It could be anything. So do yourself a favor, write down what your goal is and understand that goal, because the only way you're going to make it reality is by doing it. So the fundamentals in terms of creating your business plan, you need to understand, and I can't stress enough, guys, this is not going to be a situation where I tell you how much your startup costs are, because they're very personal to you. But you need to write down your startup costs. You need to understand some things are going to require subscriptions. For example, TradingView and your accountancy fees, your setting up a business, everything like that. You need to understand which direction you're going to go with this. We've got equipment and tools. Again, TradingView subscriptions. You might have an indicator that you want to buy, something like that. I don't pay for indicators, but you might have one that will help you along the way. There's all sorts of different things you can do, but you need to understand what it is that we have. You need a setup, a business account, taxes, all that stuff needs to come into consideration. Have you got an accountant? Again, I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you how to tax your business. You need to do it. Are you going to set up as a limited company? Are you going to set up as a sole trader? I personally set up as a limited company. But there's two ways you could look at that, because the way the world is in the UK right now, where I am, it doesn't really make much difference, especially if you're working for yourself. Are you going to be a sole trader? This is all the different things that you need to have under your consideration. How will you pay yourself? How often will you pay yourself? How many times? Or are you going to pay yourself a certain amount every single time? Or are you going to compound it? Are you going to have one trading account to pay yourself with and the other to compound and grow, and then another one for a pension or something? There's so many opportunities. Once you learn this skill, the opportunities are endless. They really, really are. They are endless. Now, your USP to a business in this instance is going to be your edge in the markets, because we're not looking to sell anything. The USP usually means what is your unique selling point. But the USP for you in the trading industry is the edge you will apply within the markets. And that is a pretty spectacular USP from your point of view. So you kind of already have that because you're going to learn that. But that is essentially what your USP for trading is. What are you going to trade and why? I traded last year majority Forex. This year, I've been trading the indices, futures markets, the NASDAQs, the S&Ps. I don't trade gold. Do you trade gold? If so, why are you trading gold? Would you trade something completely random? Because a lot of it's locational based. If you're in the US, you probably want to trade the New York session in the AM sort of session, because that's in the morning. You can get your day over with. You probably want to stick to a USD dominant pair, USD JPY perhaps on Forex, or the NASDAQ in the indices. Maybe you're in the UK, you want to trade the London session. You want to trade the pound USD or the Euro USD if you're in Forex. You could trade gold in the morning in London session. You could trade anything, but certain movements, certain pairs move better in certain sessions. Maybe you're coming here from the Asian session. You can't trade London or New York session. So you want to pick a pair that doesn't have the USD involved, because what drives price to move during the Asian session is not going to be a USD pair, because the US are going to be sleeping at that particular point. So maybe you want to trade Aussie JPY, for example, because they're pairs that are going to move better in the Asian session. So again, I can't sit there and answer those questions for you. I trade USD dominant pairs. I trade the Nasdaq, I trade the S&P, I trade the Euro USD, I trade the Pound USD. Predominantly, I trade Forex during the London session, and I would trade the Nasdaq and the S&P during the New York session. They're the pairs I trade. They're the pairs I've back tested. They're the pairs I know work within the way I want to trade. They have everything I need. I have tried trading gold before. I'm not very good at trading gold. I don't get many returns from gold. Essentially, I don't do it. I do not touch crypto. That doesn't mean you can't be successful in crypto, but I don't touch crypto. I have found a method which works for me within the Forex space, in the indices space. I do not move away from my lane. And I never, ever, ever, ever need to go to crypto, because if all the money in the world, if all the money moves over to crypto, that's just not going to happen. But let's say loads and loads of volatility moves and there's a big trend of moving. Everyone moves over to crypto. That's fine. I have a pattern which works the way I trade with how I like to trade it. I don't have to pay stupidly high commission costs to get into a position in a Forex as compared to a crypto. I trade what I know and trust. So you may not know the answer to what you're going to trade and why, because you're at the very beginning of this program. But if you're more on the advanced level and you're just wanting to refine a structure, a setup, maybe you're a gold trader. Maybe you're a crude oil and platinum trader. Whatever. Like this works on all these different places. So you can do it and you can benefit from it. But you have to understand what you're going to trade and why you're going to trade it. Very, very key objectives there. How will you check your progress? Information collection, backtesting, etc. Now, again, the good thing is you've got the education here. We are going to work with you one-on-one with regards to your journaling. So we are going to set you up with journals. We are going to set you up with that template. You are able to go and do your own journaling. Maybe you want to go and join one of those electronic ones, Tradezilla, perhaps something like that. And we will sit there and we will go over that hard stuff with you, because at some point you're going to need to do this on your own. If you come into a point where maybe you take a little bit of a losing streak, then you need to understand the pattern of why you've hit that losing streak. It's very, very important. Maybe you are on a bit of a rough edge with regards to you can't find consistency. Maybe you're not growing your account as quickly as you'd like. Well, that information is going to be collected with the data that's provided with your trades. And that essentially is going to help you in understanding everything you need to understand. And how will you grow your business? How will it grow? Essentially, it will grow through making more money. It will grow through making more money. And the way we utilize all of that is through the means of a few different things: trading, scaling, so trading, acquiring funding. So acquiring funding, trading, scaling, investing, and compounding. They're going to be the pillars to how your business is going to grow. Utilizing along the board with all of it, very, very good and very, very safe risk management. So what I want you to do is get all of this information in front of you, write down all of the stuff that you need, and create the business plan based on the information that you see here, because this is going to give you everything you need. And when we do the one-on-one calls, we're happy to sit there and go over these with you. Don't forget, you've also got the WhatsApp support as well. Please, please, please use that. If you need us, you want to ask questions, you've got very, very experienced people inside there, as well as me. I'm going to be there on that WhatsApp chat with you. So pop me a question. Ask me, how is this going? Where are we going with this? And we will be able to point you and steer you in the right direction. And with that, I will see you on the next lesson.